brand new episode of Soaps and Sass. I am one of your hosts, Baby Sass.
And I am Mama Sass.
And today is episode 41.
Yep. The week of October 27th to 31st. The lead up into...
November Sweet.
November Sweet.
Go into the recap.
Let's recap. On Monday, Lulu gets upsetting news. She found out Rocco had dinner with Britt and the family. Nathan makes a promise. I think it was he'll look out for Rocco. I don't remember what other promise he might have made. Sidwell approaches Sunny. Listen, let's make peace for the sake of our kids. But he already done promised Marco not 2 breaths before that Sunny's going down. So whatevs. Portia and Trina have a heart-to-heart. It really wasn't a heart-to-heart because you didn't tell the child you was pregnant. And Gio confides in Emma. I think this was after having spoken to Lois. And, you know, maybe there's room for a relationship, but he's still figuring it out. And he's glad he spoke to Lois. On Tuesday, Jason confronts Carly. How are you still dating Brennan? What is that about? Anna gets answers from Brennan, confirms that, you know, yes, Faison's involved, but I ain't telling you nothing more than that. Nina plays dirty. She tries to bribe Jacinda. Curtis is left reeling because Jordan told him that Portia is pregnant, or she suspects very, very hard that she is. Ned tries to reason with Tracy. Suck it up, Buttercup. Make peace. Get back into the house. And Portia reaches out to Ava to let Ava know that she's pregnant and, you know, Trina may need a friend. On Wednesday, Ronnie's announcement shocks the Quartermains. She is selling the house to Drew. Britt and Elizabeth face off. I didn't think that was much of a face-off, and I don't know really what was the point of that, but whatever.
I just don't know why Elizabeth couldn't mind her business during the entire thing.
Yeah, exactly. What's she going for Britt? I don't know. Curtis has a tense encounter with Isaiah. Where's my wife at? Like, I don't know why he came at him like that, but given how Isaiah came at him the time before, I suppose it makes sense. Lulu and Dante clash because Lulu said to Dante, when we go talk to Rocco about his dinner, like...
Shut him out.
Yeah, let's just give him an opportunity to tell us. Dante did not follow that. Nathan issues a warning. He tells Britt, stop playing the tail because, you know, Lulu has reason not to like you. Try to work together. On Thursday, Jason surprises Britt with her new car. Tracy drowns her sorrows with Lulu over at the Brown Dog and having been thrown out of the house. Cody seeks legal advice from Molly. How do we stop this sale to Drew? And Sonny voices his regrets. What was he regretting?
Sonny was voicing his regrets to...
Apparently.
Michael?
I don't know. I know
he was talking to Laura and...
Yeah, he spoke to Laura. He talked to Justine.
And he talked to Michael. That's it.
Okay. I don't know about any regrets. I must not have been listening. And Justine grills Jordan. She wants more information on Sonny. I don't know that she really got anything other than people aren't going after Sonny because they really like him. Then on Friday, Tracy and Lucy reminisce about Alan. That was nice. That was really nice. Brennan makes a proposition to Lulu about bringing Valentine stateside. Thank you, Carly, for proposing that. Drew suffers a setback. And Britt gets new marching orders, so she's now partnered with Dalton. Laura is dismayed at hearing that Martin is working for Drew again. Did she have any other dismays?
Sidwell walking into her office, that's it.
Yeah, there's that, but I don't think she was too not bothered to the point of being dismayed. But anyway. All right. So, we had some things we wanted to talk about. We want to talk about the sale of the house? Not really?
This man.
I mean, Drew was on one this week. Oh my gosh. He just, you know, it's one of the things that we have, right? It's our Kesa Kaka for the week.
Yep.
Drew can't pass people by. He have to gloat.
Yep.
He has to know that he is making you miserable. He can't just see you and pass you by.
Nope. Did it with Molly and Cody in the house. Because, again, the house isn't yours. Why are you there?
Right. But he wanted to take one look around before it all came over to him.
And for me, it's like, why you need to take a look around? You did live there for a time before you got kicked out. You know what the house.
You know what the house looked like.
You know what's in it. You know where things are.
Right.
Why hush?
And Molly committed to Cody. She would try to find a way to stall the sale. She wasn't sure that she could.
But she would try.
She really didn't think she had any legal standing, but whatever.
So props to Molly on that one.
Yes, absolutely. Then he saw There's a point where Drew saw Sonny and Michael sitting around at the Metro Court, and he's talking about, oh, you're going to be there when I sign? I want to see the look on your face. Look, if the man shows up, you will see the look on his face. If he don't show up, you won't. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you get to the age you get to, having been in the army scene and not to hearing about hollow victories. Right? There's something seriously wrong with you, sir.
And then on top of that, Michael ends up being at the house, and there's something else that happened that I will give props to later. But then Drew shows up, and he's like, "Oh, Michael, I can't believe you actually showed up to see this victory. And then once the house is mine, you'll be walking past those gates, never to be coming back." And I'm like, you do know the man has stuff there that he has to get for his children.
Oh, right? He don't care.
Or are you gonna leave it there because obviously once Willow gets exonerated, you're gonna have her back in the house with her
children, so the kid stuff needs to be there.
That you don't even know if you will actually get custody of yet because you still have to wait till January for that to come about.
And really, why would Willow want to live back in that house with her children and him, where she had all these happy memories and perhaps some super miserable memories of Michael? And now she's going to be living there with you?
Right? She's going to walk up into the nursery and be like, ah, yes, where it all fell apart.
I don't understand how any of this makes sense in this man's mind.
I don't either.
When you talk delusional, like, just no kind of sense. Then he's telling Tracy he's going to have an estate sale or an auction with all the furniture. Better yet, he's going to have a bonfire. Sir, walk on. See people, glare at them, bombastic side-eye them if you want. Go about your business. Because it's so not my personality, I can't imagine anybody in real life being this kind of miserable to people. I simply cannot fathom it. I'm sure there are people like that. I can't imagine anybody. Nobody I've ever met has been that kind of miserable, as far as I know. So you want to go right into it with your other things that happen at the house?
Right. So, since Mom is refraining me from going into so much detail because y'all have watched this, and again, if you have not, go watch. If not, spoilers, because why are you listening to this podcast if you haven't watched anything yet?
And I'm not refraining you from nothing.
But anyway, so from time since we found out that Martin actually has been working with Ronnie,
okay, yay!
Which actually popped off this week, and we're like, oh!
Yeah, I'm going to come back to that.
Yeah, we got that confirmation quick, fast, and I did like how...
Very glad.
I did
of
like...
the confirmation.
Of the confirmation. I did also like how she quickly put two and two together, being like, hold up. You were there at the tea party. Me. You're the one who drugged me, not Tracy. Anyway, so that all happens, and so basically Martin threatens Ronnie to sell the house to Drew, or she'll go to jail for fraud, because there's nothing to trace any of this back to Martin.
Yep.
Except if people are smart enough to think you've had to have called this woman multiple times, so we can get records for that. But who's gonna think it's doing that? But anyway, so Ronnie is really upset because she comes back after being at Bobby's talking to people, and Michael's at the house, and Michael's like, Ronnie, you came here to learn more about Monica, and so he tells her about Monica, and she's crying, and she's like, Michael, there's so much more going on than you know, and I'm in too deep to go back.
Yep.
And Mom had been saying, he's like, if she's gonna tell someone, let it be Michael, because Michael can get her out of it. And she thankfully told Michael. The question is, will she say more, or will she let it alone?
Yep. Now, I'm gonna say, as far as Martin's concerned, I don't even really particularly...
That's true, because I did ask you, I'm like, do you like this Martin? Is this the Martin? Do you still like Martin after the dustiness he's pulling? And you said...
Yeah, exactly. So I don't love that he's gone quite so far in this particular vein. Because y'all have heard me say on this podcast before, like, stop picking on Martin. Martin is sweet, he's kind, he's good, rah, 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 rah. But I could not understand how he is supposed to be this very slick lawyer and is being taken advantage of so often. Like, where are your teeth? Well, my man has some real fangs dripping some venom out this week, and I was like, wait a minute. So I was glad to see that backbone, that stiff spine. I was super happy to see that. I don't particularly like the way he's using it, for the simple reason that it's not just going to affect Tracy, as Olivia called out. It's not just Tracy affecting, and I think Gio called it out as well. It's like there's everybody else in the house, and I think Cody as well. Everybody else in the house has been so good and so kind. Ronnie has no real tie to these people. She just got
Right.
here. But Martin knows all of them.
Right, and it's
So
like,
to be going after Tracy and affecting all of them in this way, and then he talking about
and she
they
even
have
said-
money. Don't even worry about it. But Dante don't have money.
no,
Dante's a cop. Dante's also going to be put out.
right? Like,
I mean, okay, his mother and his father can help him out, I suppose, and what have you. But you know, he's a grown ass man. He should
And
be able to
technically-
find a place to live.
right, and technically he does still have Sam's apartment, which is also Jason's apartment.
Was Jason's apartment?
But Jason did say he wasn't. But also the question is, how affected was their apartment since Sunny's
By
house
Sunny's
blew-
fire?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but either way, it's like,
really, and
if
that's
the
it.
apartment wasn't affected, it's like, yeah, you still have Sam's place. The only reason you
But-
didn't move back was because it was too much of a reminder of Sam.
Well, no, I don't think that's the only reason he didn't move back. That may be what they put on TV, but flipping to real life, as a man, how are you gonna go move into an apartment that another man gave your wife? That I don't know many men who are gonna go for that.
Fair enough.
I don't. You know, if he's gonna pay rent or whatever to
Right.
Jason,
Right.
maybe. I don't know.
Right.
So
But-
I really don't see that happening. But it is a possibility,
Right.
as you said.
But yeah, but aside from as we said, it's like, frippin' Dante, he doesn't have money. He's a cop. Then you got Cody. Cody's the stable hand.
Yep.
Cody lives in the stables with the horses.
Yep.
So it's like, where's he gonna go? If Sasha was still there, where would Sasha go? Because like, yes, technically,
Sasha ain't there, so we ain't gonna worry about her.
no, fair enough. But I was like, yes, like
And
Sasha,
Sasha had money.
well, she had some money. And like, yes, we know Cody works there and he gets paid, let's say handsomely, but it's not to the extent that he could buy a place like the other Quartermains could. Like, he was even telling Molly, he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I have to get the horses to another stables where they can be taken care of, and then I'm gonna whatever I'm gonna do. But it's also like, I'm like, Cody, you have family here.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, I'll just go off on the road to understand. I'm like, well, what about James? Yes, James has Spinelli. Yes, James has Mac. And yes, he now has his father. But I'm like, aside from Spinelli and Mac, I think you are the closest to James.
For sure.
Like, yeah, James needs you. He's going through a rough time. Your sister is out of the country. Sorry, out of the state in a very precarious situation. And now, yes, you are also going to be in a precarious situation, but you're just going to up and leave your family? Yes, they'd understand, but they
yeah,
need
you're
you
right.
just as much as you need them.
Yeah, but he's accustomed to being on the road, family notwithstanding. But I think the fact that he has family would have him come back to Port Charles regularly,
often.
right?
And then there's Molly, who just said, don't do it.
Yeah, for real. That was pretty funny. But yeah, everybody's grown. They will figure it out. Like you said, Cody and probably Dante would have
be the two.
They would be the most affected financially.
Yeah, I'm like,
Right.
I was gonna include Chase and Brooklyn, but Brooklyn got the money.
Right. And
Chase, if he was smart enough to keep his apartment and just like rent it out or sublet it to someone else, he's fine. Because the only reason they moved back into the Quartermain house was because of Violet.
Yep. And then they never left.
Yep. But aside from that, it's like,
right? Because Rocco got a place to live.
he's got his mama.
So yeah,
It's really Dante and Cody at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna say, and all the other staff, but the other staff have homes. So
yeah, we assume, right?
like unless they have like live-in nannies. You
Yeah.
know. And then you got Yuri, but again,
right?
even still. But I do like how Ronnie did call that out when she was talking to Mark. She's like, but what about the rest of them? I can't just do it. Like, they've been so kind. It's like,
Right,
yes,
that's what I'm
Tracy,
saying.
but it's
And Martin's like, they got money, they'll figure it out. He didn't factor in them too. And really, when the level that revenge will push people to, right? The collateral damage, they don't care.
Nope, they don't.
But the other thing that I thought was really interesting, speaking of Ronnie, and that made me giggle.
Oh, was it her ting at Bobby's?
Yes.
Yes.
She walked into Bobby's and she's like, Joey! And the guy's like, I mean, I don't know why Jack did a double take.
Even, because, like, I thought he did a double take because he's like, why are you here? How are you here?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that's what that was.
Exactly. But given that they did not know each other.
And who knows, maybe it actually is.
So, yeah, I'm going to explain why this happened. But because they didn't actually know each other, like, it would have made more sense for him to just turn and be confused as opposed to a double take. Right? Unless it's trying to play like, who's this woman yelling? And then he double take when he realized she's talking to him. But basically, Ronnie walked in and talking about Joey. And that's a callback to when they were both on One Life to Live together. So Erica Slezak, or Ronnie Bard, played Vicky Buchanan, and her son was played by Chris McKenna, who's now Jack. He was Joey Buchanan, and so it's like, don't I know you from somewhere? Yeah, One Life to Live. So that was just like an Easter egg for fans of One Life to Live. So yeah, that's what that was all about. It was cute. If I were a fan of One Life to Live, I would have very much appreciated that.
It's like in another life,
right? It's like don't ignore that these two actors were together. Like when they had Silas, I can't remember, John Easton playing.
Oh my god!
Like 5 different characters. It's like, hello. You know, when Franco came back,
that's why
having been
honestly
Todd Manning, whatever.
This is where I'm wondering, when the heck is Mr. Easton coming back? Because the man keeps
he's not.
Oh, he's done. He's out of the game.
Out
of the general hospital game.
I think so.
Okay.
And sorry, you said Michael Easton, and I was thinking Roger Howarth. He just got picked up for a different soap. But no, I think Michael Easton is also done. I don't think he's coming back.
Who's Michael Easton?
Michael Easton was John, or Finn.
Oh, okay, sorry, because then you said the other guy, and now I'm like...
Roger Howarth played Franco. And he also played... Well, when he first came on to General Hospital, he played Todd Manning.
Right. So basically...
And then they couldn't use the characters anymore.
Right. So basically, they are done, not coming back. Or at least for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, oh, in that case, if my sir is not coming back as Finn, recast him and bring him back, because we need Violet back. Because it's been time.
Yeah, it'd be really nice to have Violet back.
And when we say Violet, yes, we do mean the character, but we more really specifically mean the actress.
Yeah,
because that little girl was
Jill Fiel, I think her name was.
She was a joy.
She really was. Okay, before we go into our categories, there's something else that we had mentioned on our last podcast that I want to talk about a little bit more. Unless there's anything else in today's episode that you want to talk about?
No, we will get into that through categories.
Okay, cool. So, here's the thing. I calling this the Boy Scout and the Sass within. We didn't really see any of it this week, but last week, Chase came with some real sass towards Michael.
Chase has me upset as of late, and I don't like it.
Right? So, let's break it down. So, Chase came to Port Charles because of Nell. So, when Chase was in Florida and was a cop, his relationship with Nell was the original moral crack in his armor. And yes, I'm reading my notes. Right?
Read on, no one's judging you.
So he was young and idealistic, wanted to save her, the damaged girl who'd been wronged, right? He was investigating her boyfriend's death, and then eventually came to find out that she had killed him, or was involved in his killing, or something like that. So, but basically, the emotional attachment that he had in dealing with Nell, because he was enamored of her as well, it clouded his professional judgment, and it made him slow to see or to realize that she was manipulating him. And then once he knew who she really was, he overcorrected, and now he's been feeling guilty and kind of overvigilant ever since. Right? So this is where he had his Boy Scout by the book personality when he came to Port Charles, right? It's like there's a rule he's going to follow. This is the Chase that we know. Mm-hmm. And love in quotes, right? So now, fast forward all this time, and irony of ironies, so he had a thing with Nell's sister, and he's again being blinded by justice this time instead of being blinded by emotion. He wants justice for Willow.
Yeah, so if y'all didn't pick up the connection because you're new to this podcast and just don't know the story, Willow done shot her boyfriend. People are saying she didn't do it. We all know she did it.
We know she did it. It hasn't been proven yet. But
so Willow shot her boyfriend, being Drew. Willow used to be married to Chase, but they're good friends now.
Mm-hmm. And she cheated on Chase.
She cheated on Chase with Michael, and then cheated on Michael with Drew, so that's the whole thing. But anyway, Willow and Chase had a thing. Willow was a twin, and Willow's twin was now this psychopathic chick. Mm-hmm. But they didn't know they were twins or even whatever. So Here we go. He fallen in love with the psycho people. Right.
So, like you said, Willow's been charged with attempted murder. And now Chase again has tunnel vision.
Yep.
But instead of being, I guess, blinded by love, he's being blinded by his moral compass. And sure that she didn't do it.
Yeah.
And he just making all kind of accusations, calling Michael out his name, talking about how Michael killed a woman. Never mind that it was self-defense. Never mind that he was a minor tried as an adult. Right? He was trying to protect his mother and his baby sister from a psycho.
Right?
But
and it's like,
but Chase is very happy to talk about he's got this propensity for violence.
it's like aside from, you know, killing a woman in self-defense of his mother and baby sister and all of this, who has Michael killed? Who has Michael attacked and put in crutches?
Exactly. He
like,
hasn't attacked anybody.
Michael
Right?
doesn't do what he does unless it's for the protection of his family.
Well,
Like, watch, look at the pattern.
Yep. Exactly. And so he's so determined to prove Willow innocent that he's impulsive. He's defending without any kind of information. He's attacking people without any information. I mean, the way he went after Dante, you know, was ridiculous. And like Dante speaking to him very calmly, very even tone, and Chase is like yelling.
Yeah, if you want to hear our conversation on that, I think you got to go back maybe 2 episodes.
No, that was the last episode.
That was last episode?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So last week's episode 39, you can listen to our conversation on Chase just being out of pocket and out of line.
Exactly. So again, he's out there. He's got emotion first, evidence later, which lines up with my PCPD. You know, perp caught, quickly released, promptly discharged.
Yeah.
PCPD. So it's like, can you pay a little bit of attention, Chase? And what was really interesting is when he spoke to Michael. He was talking to Michael in the sauna, and you know, again, we talked about this last week. But sauna. Michael was like, "You don't know Willow as well as you think you do. She did this, and this." And now, when he went to visit Willow, we kind of see that little bit of doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting to see. I want to see, obviously through November sweeps, but early next week, ideally, how that plays out. Like, is Chase gonna really genuinely start rethinking things, or he's gonna continue to be driven by his emotions for these women that he feels great affection for?
Right, because next
but Brooklyn can't turn his head this way.
No.
Actually, she did after she punched him out and all this kind of thing. That's how Brooklyn and Chase met. She punched him like twice, and within a matter of weeks.
I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to look that up. But I was gonna say, because I'm like,
he'd arrested her for it.
This man gets into hot water with his first ex-girlfriend or Nell. I don't even know how their relationship really worked out. Then you got Willow. Next, you know, they're gonna break up. God forbid, have some kind of trouble, and then he's gonna be like, "But Brooklyn would never." And it's like, I'm sorry, but Brooklyn did. Like, it's like Chase.
Right?
Chase. It's like once is just a happenstance. 2 is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern. And that's why I'm like,
what, you don't think he's already in a pattern?
That's why I'm like, don't let Brooklyn be the third.
Right.
Let Brooklyn be the exception to the rule.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. So do you think that this is now a pattern? What you just said is no. And do you think that his lack of objectivity here is going to compromise the case?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I think it's going to compromise the case for multiple reasons, because he said he's going to investigate on his own time. So
right.
So he's going to be digging into things and either find out, you know, who actually did it.
Mm-hmm.
Find out, you know, that Willow did break into the house and you know, lose his trust in her, and just be like, you know what, I'm sorry Willow, I can't help you. Or but overall, like, he's gonna get suspended. He's gonna mash up things for the PCPD, and Anna and Turner are not gonna be happy.
Right.
Neither are Dante, and that's going to get him in trouble, which is going to lead him to have an argument with Brooklyn. He's going to be so focused on trying to get Willow help and all of this that his own relationship with Brooklyn is going to deteriorate, which does not help the fact that, you know, they're already, I wouldn't say having a rocky relationship, but it's kind of a little tense. But
right.
But only because, you know, Brooklyn's holding off on, you know, adoption and whatnot, because she wants to work out her relationship with Gio, which we already talked about however many weeks, possibly months ago.
Yeah.
And we already agree that Brooklyn's decision to hold off on the adoption is a mistake. Like, she should talk about it with Gio and help and make him understand, like, hey, like, it's not to replace you. It's not to make you feel away. It's like, this was something we've been talking about before I even knew that you were my child. And it doesn't, it like, whatever. But
So,
I'm not
to your
gonna.
point, because we haven't seen that storyline for quite some time. So, do you think the writers pivoted on that?
I don't think they did, and I
We
think they
think we're
might
gonna
throw
they're
that
gonna bring
back
it back
in.
into the
Yeah.
sweeps? Yeah,
I think they might throw
I
that
agree
back
with
in,
you.
being like I think there might be a point where he's just so fresh. Like Brooklyn's probably gonna come in one of those situations where it's like Chase is working late, he's stressed out, and she just really wants to like help him and like take a break, take a breather, go to bed, yada yada, and that. And like the stress and frustration of him trying to figure it out is going to lead to him lashing out on her, and then kind of throwing that dig. It's like
yeah,
it's like I want us to have a baby, and you're holding off because you want to deal with your issues with a kid who doesn't even want to have a relationship with you, and whatever.
Ooh, I hope you don't say it like
I
that.
don't. I don't either.
But
People say
yeah,
the most hurtful things when they're tired, stressed,
yeah,
also
absolutely.
hurt. So yeah,
Absolutely, I totally see that happening. It's like I don't want it to happen.
we all don't, because
but the way the writing has been going,
right,
100% see it. I think you have called it 100%.
because I got that thing, but it's because like we all know, it's like you can, based off how storylines go or based off how certain things play out, it's really easy to predict what things are possible to happen.
Yeah,
especially the likely scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's like when it comes to Brooklyn and Chase, we're like, please, out of everyone in this family, please be the new Edward and Lila.
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
And yeah, married couples have their ups and downs all the time. I'm sure Lila and Edward did too.
Yep, definitely did.
But it's like, don't turn your back on each other. Don't, like, yeah, you're gonna say hurtful things in the moment, and it's like it's gonna suck. But come back to each other. Go to counseling if you need to, but don't just say the hurtful thing, walk away, be done, and end it, because like that, I'm like, that's basically what's going on with Portia and Curtis, among a bunch of other reasons,
right? But
it's like there have been so many couples through General Hospital that I can't even count, but there have been couples that I love and wanted to see stay together, i.e. Lucky and Elizabeth, Jason and Sam, oh my goodness. Well, there's Laura and
Cody and Sasha.
Before
that got dirty.
Before that got tossed. Nathan and Maxie before he got killed off. So many couples I want to see stay together, and it doesn't work out because it's like you got to keep the stories moving and flowing and change up relationships and stuff like that, which is fine. But sometimes you need to have those once every so often relationships that just stick and you don't mess with because they work so well. Like, again, I know Monica and Alan had their tiffs, but in the end they always came back to each other. So that's the thing. I need Brooklyn and Chase to be one of those couples. Yes, they have their arguments. Yes, they have their issues. But in the end, they come back to each other no matter what. So that is what I need for Chase and Brooklyn. And I really hope the writers don't mess with that. Because we haven't had an Edward and Lila in however many years.
Correct.
So,
Yep.
I'm going to say let them be the Luke and Laura, but no one could have a love story like Luke and Laura, so I'm going to shut up on that one. I wasn't even there for the whole Luke and Laura thing.
Right. Okay. Now, before we go into our categories.
Yes.
Friday. Signing of the deed to hand it over to Drew, who's so busy standing there gloating. Then we see... Oh, sorry, do you want to jump in?
I was going to say, for some reason in my mind, I thought it was going to be Ronnie signs first and then Drew. But I'm glad Drew signed first, because then it gave that hesitation of, like, do I really want to do this?
Right? And she's so anguished. And do you think that Tracy is actually going to be able to open the will?
I hope she does.
And intervene? Or is the signature going to happen and we're going to have some kind of
legal
fallout?
She's not going to intervene. Unfortunately, like... Because also, I don't know how far Lulu's house is from the Quartermains, and she's also not aware that the signing is happening at that moment, unless someone said, by the way, like, this is happening. Like, no, she, as far as I'm aware, she is not aware. So it's possible, she might even not know the signing's happening, and might rush over to be like, walk and be like, you see, you liar, you fibber, and be like, right. I have a copy that was dated after the last one. You did not get this house, but it was like, it's too late. She's already signed the papers, whatever. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to open it. She's going to see, and she might either go to the lawyers. She, again, might run.
Oh, go to Alexis or
Mark or whoever, but she might, it's entirely possible she might actually run to the Quartermains and be like, ha!
It's teleport Charles. I don't see how she can't get over to the Quartermains, but go on.
But, in all likelihood, the house will get signed over. because they wouldn't just bring up the idea that it doesn't happen. Like, they would never do that. They're gonna want the drama of it get signed over, and Drew has control of the estate.
I see. So it's a bigger drama when he gets his comeuppance.
Yes, it's gonna get signed over. Tracy's gonna figure this out, and there's gonna be a whole legal thing, and then it's gonna be shown. It's like, Michael, legally the house belongs to Michael. Whatever will that was read was a fraud, and that sale of the house was not, legal. But they're gonna have to work that out, because they're gonna have to figure out how is the actual case, how was the thing forged, and it's gonna be a whole thing. But in the end, Drew will get the house, but the house will be ripped out from under him, and the corner mains will be
restored.
Yeah.
Okay,
and cool. Olivia will finally get her pizza oven.
Right. All right. So, we talked about our Kesakika already, but about Drew not being able to pass people by. Make it make sense.
Lucy. How'd you know it's Lucy? She gossips all over the place. Of course she would know. But it's like, who called for you to just turn up at Lulu's house and immediately go into, look at this house. It's got a whole set of this and a whole set of that. But you know what? You're more Victorian, so let's look at this house. It's like, hello? Let the dust settle. The woman got kicked out of her house and had to take all of her stuff, and is grieving the loss of her family home, and is getting sold to a monster.
Which Lucy eventually clued into, right. or Tracy told her. And I thought Lucy showed remarkable compassion.
It took her a second, because Lucy
It did take her a second.
Because unfortunately, Lucy's common sense is not common.
Right.
It's ever lacking.
Lucy's all about the Benjamins.
As proof of her appearances on Home and Heart.
Money.
Yeah, her appearances on Home and Heart. Her very bold move of, if you're ever looking to sell, Ronnie, here's my card. Like, her not abruptness, but her semi-scandalousness at the funeral. Like,
right.
Like, Lucy acts before she thinks.
Although, to be fair, at the funeral, I think she did think before she acted. Because she did say she was trying to buy Tracy some time. Yeah. Which is fair,
but but the words left her mouth before she.
Yeah, she can be compassionate. All right. What'd you do that for? Who called for that?
What did I have? Cause
you said Sidwell.
Yeah. Apparently, Sidwell and Drew are cut from the same cloth, which we technically already knew that. But so much to the fact that man just walks up in people's offices, like Drew's walking up in people's homes, without knocking on a freaking door or ringing a doorbell. In this case, knocking on a freaking door, because he just walked up into Laura's office without, knocking on a door.
And I think he walked into Dalton's office the same way, although Dalton's office might have been open.
Something so.
And Dalton is out-ish.
But with Dalton, I don't care.
Yeah,
compared to people who actually don't like this man and cause this man grief,
right?
And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So.
And Sidwell telling Laura, "You and I are going to reclaim Port Charles." Boy, sit down. I can't wait for him to go.
If he ever does.
If he ever does. Villain of the week.
Villain of the week, I had said
Portia.
The reason I said Portia is because Curtis shows up to her office asking, "Are you pregnant?" And she's just like, "I guess Jordan told you." Okay, so what were you guys doing? Were you in bed when she told you? It's like, okay, lady, again,
question on the table.
I get you have issues with Jordan. Chill. You're always going on about, it's always about Jordan. It's always listening about Jordan. It's like, if you stop making it about Jordan, it'll stop being about Jordan. Stop making a big deal of the woman, because you say, "I'm gonna left you alone." Our issues are our issues, but you still keep bringing her up, making her seem like the problem. Oy vey. But no, the reason you're the villain, Portia, is because you do not know who the father of this baby is. But then here comes Curtis barging into your office saying, "I'm the father of this baby. This is my baby. I will be here to raise this baby. I missed out on all of Trina's life, and I will be here for this baby." You had ample opportunity to say, but you might not be the father of this baby. Like, your marriage is already over.
In fairness to Portia, I mean, I'm going to start by, I totally agree with you. But who wants to admit that they're trifling?
Your marriage is already over. Granted, Curtis is not crossing the line because they're like, we're still legally married.
Yep.
Which is fine.
But she's trifling.
But still, as we know, your default is to lie. Or in this case, omit the truth.
Deflect and whatever. Exactly.
But still, it's like it's like you're going through this again. I hear that you have a plan that you told Ava, being like, I'm gonna wait till my first trimester's over, and then I'm gonna do a DNA test, and then tell the proper parent who is the father, which is understandable. But now you have come into this mess where your current husband, still husband, now knows that you are pregnant and assumes he is the father. You don't have to tell him who you slept with.
Oh, like that's gonna be any big mystery.
I mean,
he will clue that very fast.
He is a PI, which is fair and fine.
He don't even need to be a PI.
But
he will do that math.
Understandable. However, you should tell him he is not the father, or at least don't know he may not be the father, because look, 20 some odd years later, you got in the mess that you got in, and finding out at your wedding that Trina is not Tigers but his. You almost didn't get married because of this,
right?
Like your marriage is already over, and clearly you don't want to stay in a marriage for a baby. And as we all know, if your relationship is not working out, yes, there's a child involved, but the child would be better off if you don't stay in a marriage where you can't stand the other person.
Exactly. Stay separate, sort it out, and then come together.
Right, because kids are so smart. So yeah, leave. Tell him the truth. Just be like, hey, yeah, I'm pregnant, but the thing is, you may not be the father. I'm not gonna, like, you already know your marriage is over because of all the lies you told. So letting him believe that he's the father and dote upon you and do all of this and do all of that when you know he might not be the father, and then come to find out he isn't the father, because we all know he's not the father.
Oh, and I don't know that.
I'm going with the fact that he's not the father, because why would you write in that he's gonna be the father? He's not the father.
Oh, for the drama of it all.
He's not the father.
Okay, fine.
And so yeah, he's gonna dote, and then his heart is going to break.
Okay.
When he finds out that he is not the father. Okay. Save him the heartbreak, because he's already gonna be mad later down the road.
Yeah, for me, Portia's mistake, knowing that Jordan had figured it out, or suspecting Jordan had figured it out, how she didn't make a beeline or an immediate phone call to Curtis and tell him herself, and let Jordan do it. Like, she's just a coward.
Yes!
Every minute she's a coward. I can't.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to combine the last two categories because they do go together.
That's fine. Comedy
moment of the week and hero of the week goes to...
Jason! So Brown Dog. Tracy is drowning her sorrows because she found out that Drew's going to get the house. And so she's with Lulu, drowning their sorrows, when Martin and Drew walk in. Drew gives his little, little spiel again, because man can't let things alone.
Can't walk and see people and pass.
So he goes off, he gives his little tit for tat, walks off. Tracy and Lulu sitting, gabbing. Then Drew and Martin are getting ready to leave, so he comes over, and again, can't leave things well enough alone. And this is where he makes the comment of, I'm only buying the house, not the furniture. So, I gotta get rid of that. So I'll sell it. Or maybe I'll burn it. And here comes Jason, because Jason had gone to pick up Britt with the new Mercedes. And so he comes in, doesn't say a word.
And I just want to say, before you go there, really what vexed me is Martin and Drew were sitting over by the door. They did not need to pass Tracy and Lulu to exit.
No, they didn't.
So ridiculous.
No, they didn't. He made a choice.
Pissed me off.
He made a choice. And He made a choice, and the choice resulted in his brother coming up behind him, kicking the cane out from under him, and man went tumbling down. His namesake could not support him.
The cane did not hold the cane.
No. And what I love is because the thing about it too is that Drew is kind of leaning towards Tracy. So really, no one could see that Jason kicked the cane out from under him. So Drew's like, "Wow, again, why would you do that?" I mean, and it's like, and I'm here on the side, be like, "What do you mean, Drew? I didn't see him kick it. What are you talking about?
Goodness.
You were leaning. The cane couldn't hold the weight. You moved that cane and hit a wet spot. It slipped. What?
Oops.
What do you mean? You just got good balance.
Oh my god.
Your equilibrium was off. The world tilted. There was an earthquake. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
you know what it reminded me of? And I don't know if you've seen this, but there's an episode of The Office where Dwight is talking about he ain't gonna sit, he can stand up all day. But he has a cane in his pants leg. And so he's sitting on the handle of the cane to hold himself up. And Jim comes by, sees the cane sticking out the pants foot. And he goes to Dwight, "You know I gotta do it, right?" And Dwight's like, "Yep." And so Jim kicks the thing out. All you hear is whoa. As Drew felt, that's what that made me think of.
So dirty.
It really was. It really was.
It was dirty, but so replayable. I don't know how many times I played that thing back because that was just.
I think we need to play that back before we go to bed tonight.
That was such a bahaha moment.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh. And the thing is, Jason didn't say a word. He just looked at him. Everybody's looking at Jason. Jason's just there silent.
That was a look full of sass. Full of sass. Come at me, dog. What you gonna do?
Like Jason in that moment was living up to his namesake where he don't talk. He just facial expression.
Yep.
And it was glorious.
It really was.
Oh my god, Jason, I love you for that. I will forever love you for that. I might have to make a gif of that.
Seriously, savage moments on GH. This is not one of them. Brando talking to that reporter when he was up in Sasha's face.
I've never... Who?
Hey.
I think... Who? I've never so attracted to a man. Okay?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Like, I'm definitely that person where it's like, if a man ever says, who did this to you? Or stay away from my wife and they're not even married, it's like, whoa, sir. You can steal me away any day. Spoon worthy. Hey, I know you say but this is me. You know me. You know how I am. Okay? Left alone. Alone.
Okay, baby Sass. I'm gonna leave it alone. All right, but I will take more of that sass through November sweeps. Thank you very much. And so I think this is a good point to sign off and go looking for some November sweeps.
Amen to that.
All right, so y'all come back next week where we are going to give you a little more soap.
And hopefully with November sweeps kicking off, a hell of a lot of sass.
Have a great week, y'all.
Bye.